Hey guys, this is Pastor Chad, and as most of you guys know, we're starting a new series this month called Ask the Pastor. And so you've all had the opportunity to ask me questions all throughout October, and so I'm going to spend this whole month answering those questions for you. However, there were many, many questions. In fact, here's my list. These are all the questions I received. We got a lot of response for this one. And so what I'm going to do is every Tuesday and Thursday, we'll have a video on our Facebook page and on our website answering one of these questions because there's enough that I'm going to do an answer every Tuesday, Thursday, and on Sunday mornings. That's how many questions you guys had. And so I thought we would start with sort of a fun one, although our very first one, since this is our first Tuesday of November. So I'm starting with the questions that the youth group submitted, which were a wide selection of questions. And so I've got my questions here to answer for you today. So the first question, are you excited for the new youth pastor? Yes. In short, yes. I'm very excited for the new youth pastor. His name is Joel, and he is going to be a great fit in our ministry here. I think you guys are going to love him. As most of the youth who were here a couple of Sundays ago when he sat in on service know, he is very tall, but he is also very spiritual, and he will be a great leader for our youth group. So I'm excited for him to join us. He will start on Sunday. So if you're in the youth group and you're watching, Sunday night at 6:30, he will be here next week to hang out with you guys and to get to know you a little bit. So yes, I'm very excited for the new youth pastor. Let's see. How do you like preaching at this church so far? I love it. We have had a ton of fun. I've only been here 4 months, but it feels like way longer because it just feels like we've been able to mesh in really, really well. And we've been able to jump in, and preaching here is a lot of fun because you guys are very responsive. And God has really been speaking to me and through me. And so it has been a great month to be preaching here. We've had a lot of fun, and so I very much enjoy preaching here. Let's see. When you came here, did you expect more elders or younger people? The DS gave me a pretty good picture that we had a good mix, which I think is pretty true. We have plenty of young people and we have plenty of older folks too. And so when I came, I expected to have to minister to all sorts of people, which has been very true of my time here so far. So there you go. How do you come up with your sermons? There's a lot of different ways. Sometimes I'm watching a movie and something stands out and I think I ought to preach on that. Other times it's when I'm reading through my Bible, something stands out. I've had songs on the radio that stand out, and different things that stand out. God speaks to me in a lot of different ways. And so my sermons always are sort of a collection of things from my life, or things that I'm feeling I ought to do, like our prayer and fasting that we did a few weeks ago. That was one that was I just felt in my spirit that we needed to do it. And so there's a lot of different ways that God speaks to me through my sermons, or to what I should preach. And so that's one of my favorite things to do is preach. And so my ideas come from a lot of different places from all over the place. So that's where I come up with all my sermons. Last question for today. How much of the Bible have you read? I have read all of the Bible all the way through 3 or 4 times now. I'm always in constant rotation of rereading and rereading and rereading because you always get different stuff out of it every time you read it. I've read through it 4 or 5 times now, and every time I read it, there's a new story that I didn't notice before that I thought, never saw that, never stood out to me before. But every year it happens. Every time I read my Bible, some verse sticks out that I think, wow, I've read this many times before and just never stood out to me like that before. And so I've read my Bible through many times, as you should as well. But I just want you to know that that is my answer. 3, 4, 5, something like that. I read it all the way through every year. So those are all the questions that the youth group asked. So I thought we'd get started on sort of a light note because some of these questions are pretty heavy. They're very in-depth and they are going to take a little bit longer to answer. And so hope you enjoyed our first video. Those are my first set of answers for you. Your next video will be in a couple of days on Thursday. On Thursday, I am answering the question, why fast and how do you begin fasting? I thought that would be a good idea to have that one this week since we're fasting all month of November. So on Thursday, watch for a video on fasting. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy this series this month. I know I'm going to enjoy it. There are some good questions. So have a great week, and I'll see some of you guys on Sunday. Bye.